What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up with the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people, to another episode. It's me, Ricky Jones Jr., and as you all can see, I have the great Dr. Asad and Miss Adrian here today. How are y'all doing today?
Man, we are good. We're well.
I'm doing outstanding. Now, the people who know you know that you already have your own intro, so I can't, intro you. Y'all have to intro y'all the way y'all do on your channel. So if you would, hit us with the intro.
All right, fam, it's your brother Asad.
And I'm Adrian.
And we are back again with another quick video with brother Ricky. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when this brother drops new material on his channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, I got to give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar shout out to my South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel. My wife, myself, my children, we greatly appreciate it. And bam, 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 just like that. Bam, bam, bam.
Yes.
Just like
that. Man, you got to bottle that. That is a trademark sound that the world needs to hear. Nah, man, I appreciate this time that y'all are giving me. And more than anything, what I wanted to do today is to talk about the new thing that y'all have going on. Well, new to me and maybe new to others, which is OneWayEssay.com. I saw it on one of your videos. Bam, bam, bam. I saw it on one of your videos and I was like, man, let me go look online and see what this is. And my God, I see you doing big things. I see you all doing big things. And even one of the headlines is travel and relocation consultation services. So before we get into the website itself, OneWayEssay.com, let me just know, like, where did this come about? What idea sparked you to say, it's time for us to be the way that people come into SA?
Well, I think there are multiple ways that folks are coming to SA, but what really sparked it for us was the amount of emails and communication we were getting from people requesting information about South Africa. Can you tell us about the visa process? Can you tell us about buying property? Doc, what type of insurances do I need? And I was spending a lot of time on Zoom calls and phone calls and on emails. And as I said before, it was time to kind of professionalize these calls and these emails, because so many were kind of getting lost in the shuffle and wasn't responding when people were sending me WhatsApp or whatever have you. I said, well, let's make sure we can set aside a time where you and I can have these conversations. You can have my undivided attention. So that's kind of what sparked One Way SA. So many questions. I mean, and then on top of that, we were getting so many people coming in town who wanted to link up, to talk with us and ask some of those same questions in person. So, and yeah.
And then they would say like, oh, thank you so much. Like, I'll catch a meal, you know, like that was a way of sort of like, oh, I appreciate it. So maybe I'll take care of this meal or something like that.
Right.
And then we had folks who spoke with us that were just like, hey, y'all should do this. You should set up a business and do this.
Yeah.
Provide this service, like, on that level.
Absolutely.
No, I love that. I love business. I'm business minded myself. So I even love the fact that you all did this. I know I and my wife, we were one of the ones that came down to South Africa and was like, we have to try to hook up with Dr. Asad and Miss Adrian. Like, we have to, and we were so gracious enough to be able to. And you all gave us the royal treatment. I'm gonna say, like, we were able to see malls, we were able to go to eat a couple of places. Like, you all treated us with the love of SA. So I can say, just off of personal experience, you all are great people, right? And so I'm sure if you did it for us, y'all did it for, I appreciate that. Y'all did it for people upon people upon people. Like, what was the common questions that people were asking? I know you said they were asking about insurance, they were asking about the visa process, they were asking about housing, but like, were those like the main things people are asking? Were they asking other things as well that you were like, okay, let me tap into this on the consultation side?
Well, I think one of the questions that we may not have technically tapped in on the consultation side is just, what was it like moving, right? How do we escape the United States? How do we relocate to SA?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the questions. But then after that question, it is, well, what is the visa process like? You know, how did you guys end up buying a house? And I mean, so many, it's very unique the way we purchased our first property because we were actually still in the United States. So, so that's kind of a lot of the questions that we would get about the visa process, property purchase. For people with children, they were asking about schools. And there are a lot of people kind of in the YouTube space talking about South Africa, but not many actually have young children in school. So we actually had to go through that entire process, which is a separate visa process, and also locating the schools, visiting different schools. And so people with young children often ask about that. What's the education like in South Africa? So,
Yeah, no, that's good. Were you about to say something, Miss Adrian?
No, I mean, there's so many things. It's just day-to-day life here that the things that you don't think about until you get here, and then you have to figure it out. You know, I got put the lights on. I got what internet service do I use? Oh, there's load shedding. What do I do about load shedding? You know, car insurance, home insurance, everything that is a part of like day-to-day life that we get down to the nuts and bolts. Sometimes people need a little like, hey, how did y'all navigate this situation? So a lot of those questions too.
So for people who are actually relocating, they have to remember that everything that you needed in the United States, you're going to have to find some version of that in South Africa. So like Adrian is mentioning, getting your lights turned on or getting your water connected. These are things that, you know, most people don't think about it. And some people may not have to worry about that if they're in an apartment building, they cover water, but there's various different ways that may work. But there's like Adrian was saying, there's some real nuts and bolts stuff that you have to kind of experience so that, you know, you can know that that you need to get those things squared away. And we've experienced just we've experienced so much stuff. So I think that there's a saying that says experience is the best teacher. And now we're looking to teach what we have experienced.
Yeah. No, I love that. And even the one thing that I love that you all, excuse me, tapped on was the fact that you all have kids. And I know for Crystal and I, when we visited, we were like, we had 3 people that we want to connect with as far as like YouTubers. It was the Real South Africa. It was Dr. Asad and Miss Adrian, and it was Ashley. And those, you know, because you all have kids, and it was cool to be able to not only see the kids do school and do life, because even from the differences of us having buses here and you all having car services there that picks up your child, drops them off and pick them up and bring it back home. Like, even to see that interaction was like, oh, wow, this is a difference that one don't even think about until you get on the ground. However, you all having that experience already gives the person that connects with you that opportunity to be a step ahead. So like, even little things like that, I was like, okay, God is good for connecting the 2 of us, because we were able to see it. And then we were able to be at the hotel, Chris and I, and think to ourselves like, man, like, how are we going to do that? Like, we didn't even think about a car service. We were just, you know, we take our kids to school currently here. And the thought of even somebody else doing it is like, wait a minute, but it's a thing. It's a thing.
It's a big thing. And that, so we actually, part of One Way SA is not only the repository of information, but it's also the network of individuals that we trusted individuals that we have collected. So for individuals who are like, hey, I'm moving, I need a car service. Hey, I got this guy. And not only do we trust him, we trust him with our own children. We actually, you know, and he has his network of individual drivers. So that's something a lot of people don't think about. There's no yellow school buses here.
Hello. I didn't see one. You right about that. So going to the site, right? I'm on the site, looking at the site right now, and I see that it says, welcome to Zambia. Mzansi. See, I got a lot to learn.
That's South African talk.
I got a lot to learn. So what how do you say it again?
Zanzi.
I'm gonna let Adrian say it because she's much better.
Zanzi.
Zanzi. So you have to lead it with
Zanzi.
Zanzi. Yeah.
Zanzi.
So that's
Zanzi.
what the locals call South Africa, right? Like,
nice.
Names for this area. So so South Africa, you know, the new republic, but there's an old ancient name that I don't know if it's ancient, but
It's the
local name.
Uh-huh. I dig it. I dig it. And even on there, it talks about who we are, which is cool to even see the family on there, which, you know, we starting to see more of the family on your YouTube channel, which is dope to see your sons. Even I was talking about the hiking trip you all did. That was a hilarious video. Go check that out if y'all haven't done so thus far. But it was beautiful and hilarious at the same time, right? Beautiful because all of that was in the city limits, which is what you were talking about, how 20 minutes outside of the city, this national park area, or, you know, reservation, if you will, is there, and waterfalls and all. But then the funny side was hearing my brother make it to the top. But but with it on the website, who we are with your kids on there, man. Let me just ask this, how has the relocation been for them? Because even as you say, making sure that people have a hassle-free experience. How has the experience been for your children?
Well, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I think so. Our oldest, I think he's having a tougher time adjusting than our youngest. Our youngest loves it. He's like, I don't ever need to move back. I'm good. We can go visit, but we don't need to move back.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the oldest had, I guess, tighter relationships with his friends. He misses his grandparents. Of course, they were very close with them. So I think it's those relationships that he misses. But other than that, I think he's adjusting well. They've both found new friends. They're involved in new sports and new activities. They like their school. The school environment is a little different here. They're much more outdoors, much more into children being active. The food, they always talk about the food is much better. The food quality is really good. Their meals are like really well balanced.
Nice.
That's one thing I like.
Right.
Like a school trip for like 4 days or so, where they went like a grade-wide camping trip to one of these places similar to the botanical garden, not too far away. The team building and stuff. So yeah, I think they're adjusting really well. This will be a great move for them.
And also, as I was telling people, I think I was talking to you, Brother Ricky, and I was saying that for those who have children who are thinking about moving to SA, you need to kind of visit a few times.
You did say that.
To kind of get them acclimated to what it's like in South Africa, and maybe even bribe them a little bit, take them to all the fun places. You know, take them to all kind of stuff.
We think that's one thing you won't miss out.
It's stuff for children, right?
There's so many activities for children.
But you want to definitely get them here as many times as possible before the move, so that they can, you know, get a feel for the place and you know, understand that it'll be different, but it's not too different. You know, really start to like, you know, South Africa, Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban.
No, I dig that. And even with our kids right now, Rain is 6 and Ricky is 4, and so she'll be 7, he'll be 4 when we move down. And you know, my kids, they love the parks, they love eating. So I feel like I saw enough of that, and I feel like if I show them 3-4 of them situations, they're gonna be good to go. And even when I told them we were moving, we did a video letting them know that we were moving, they was good. Like Rain just wanted to know she can do a dance, have a little dance situation, ballet or whatever, and Ricky just wanted to make sure he could eat. And them two things checked off, them people was happy. So like, how old is your youngest son?
10.
10?
10.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that gives the people an idea of, like, you know, what age ranges and groups are more likely to transition well, and others that may have these ties and connections that, you know, is a little bit tough. But even on the side of online appointments, right? So I'm just scrolling down and I see that you all do consultations for visas and permits. Now, where did this thought come about? And even too, like, what was your experience of getting a visa and permits and all of that good stuff to say, okay, people need to know. And I have the information off experience.
So now we just went through this process, and for some reason our process was one of the longest processes to get a visa. You hear other people say, I got my visa in 4 weeks, I got my visa in 6 weeks, but we happened to do it, apply at a time when the Department of Home Affairs was making some pretty significant changes, and which created a backlog. But yeah, the visa process it's funny because when you look at like the Department of Home Affairs website, there's a list of certain visas that they offer. Everyone knows about the business visa or the retirement visa or the critical skills visa, but there are a number of other visas that are not listed that are still legitimate South African visas that will get you to South Africa to live here for a long period of time, for an extended period of time, 2, 3, maybe 4 years. So a lot of people, reaching out, hey, what are the visa options and what is that process like? So we told them our story. In fact, we documented it on our YouTube channel.
Nice.
Going to DC and we had a situation where one of our documents was about to expire and we're in DC. We had to try to find a place there. So we actually, again, kept that repository of it's certain documents and certain information that you're going to have no matter what, that you're going to have no matter what visa you apply for. Right. Yeah. And then for your specific visa that you're going to apply for, there's going to be some specific documents that you're going to have. And we looked at them all. So for 2 years, we were trying to figure out which visa we were going to apply. Because that's really the big question that most people who are truly interested in relocating, like what visa can I apply for so that I can be there legally? Right. Be there legally. We have some folk who are here, but I say be here legally.
It's a key word. It's a key word.
Legally, yeah. Right. You want to make sure it's done properly, decently, and in order, as the Bible would say, and your grandmama would.
Yes. Those things are vitally important. So let me ask you this. You say your process was long. How long was your particular visa process?
12 weeks. 12 weeks.
Oh, 12 weeks. Okay. Wow. Yeah, so and that was on the long side. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what happened was initially all long-term visitor visas, like 2-3 year visitor visas, were being processed in Washington, D.C. So you would go apply for people in certain states, let's be clear. Because in other, like if you're in LA, you can apply in LA, and I think there's also one in New York, right? But for us, we had to go to D.C. It was all being processed in D.C., 4 to 6 weeks, bam, 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 just like that, you'll get your visa back. However, the Department of Home Affairs changed that in February 2021. They moved all long-term visa processing from D.C. to Pretoria, South Africa. So everything is being processed in Pretoria, which created this epic backlog that is still in effect today. And not too long after we received our visas, maybe a month, they reversed the process and put it back in DC. Wow. But so we applied like a month after the process, after the initial change took place. So it had us in backlog for 12 weeks, or maybe even more than 12 weeks. Yeah, it was a little longer than 12 weeks. And to tell you a funny story, we knew that the visa was coming, but we had been waiting so long. The embassy allowed us to pick up our passports, because when you apply, you have to leave your passport. So they allowed us to pick up our passports, come to South Africa, find us a place to stay or whatever have you. And they call us and like, hey, your visa's ready. Like literally the next day that we arrived here, they called and said your visa's ready. So we had to fly back out and go to the States. Because you have to, because we came on a so when you land in South Africa, you get with that blue passport, the United States passport, you get 90 days automatically, right? But leave out of the country, go get the visas, and then return to the country on a proper long-term visa or whatever. They couldn't just mail it to us or whatever. So,
and everybody had to go.
Everybody has to. Listen, if you want to be here legally, go through the visa process.
There it is. There it is.
Go through the visa process. And and it, for us, we compiled all the information ourselves. We got all of the documents that we needed, all of the medical clearances, all of the insurances. It's a lot of very it's many little check-offs that you have to do for this visa. And then when we did, we contacted who is now part of our network, an agency, to go through our application. We compiled everything. They just went through the application for us and said, yep, this looks good. we should be okay. And we did that for our visa, my visa, her visa, as well as our student visa for our children, which is a separate collection of paperwork that you need to have. They did that, and hey, this is good. So then when we applied, we were able to apply with confidence, right? We have all of our stuff in order or whatever.
No, that's good. That's good. So now the services that you all offer, is it particularly to people that are leaving from America, or are you open to helping all those around the world with the visa process?
I'm open to all those around the world.
Yes.
Everybody. We just had people here from Bermuda.
Yeah.
Nice.
From the UK, sister reached out to us from the UK. Yeah, Canada. Yeah, so this is for everyone. We know that as African Americans and the YouTube channel and the audience that we have, that a lot of the people who contact us are African Americans, right?
Yeah,
but this is for everybody.
Everybody can get this information, huh? And it's cool because I and Crystal, we're thinking about which visa we were going to come on. So I'm gonna definitely go ahead and book that service so that we can even figure out the ones that even aren't listed, right? Because we've looked on the website and seen some things and we're like, okay, we could see ourselves doing that. We could see that. And it's not that too. And however, but if there's more, then hey, let's see what's all in store. So check on my list for there. But then even going down, we'll do 3 of the different consultation things even that are on the site, just to help people get a further understanding of what you all offer. But the next one is like housing and lodging. So I know you said people reach out to you all either for like, where should we stay? Because I mean, we coming from America, like I don't know where to go and things like that, but even housing as well. So what have you all done in that space to say, okay, I can help, we could help people feel comfortable and all that?
So we have been to South Africa. We started coming in 2019. We were here, obviously COVID happened in 2020, which grounded us. We were here in March 2021. We were here in June 2021. We were here in December 2021. We were here in March 2022. Then we came about 3 separate times in August of 2022. So we have stayed at numerous places. So let's go back a little bit.
Yes,
Adrian and I are travelers. We've been to Asia, Europe, Paris, Spain, Istanbul, Colombia, other countries in Africa. And we're not the type that we're actually using like a travel agency. What we always had was someone on the ground, or we had a friend of a friend on the ground who would say, stay at this place. You need to see this, this, and this. Here's where you need to eat. If you need a driver, we have someone who can drive you or whatever have you. So that's how we travel. I mean, we traveled to Istanbul at a time when the United States was like, y'all shouldn't travel to Istanbul. There was a little conflict going on. So but we've managed. That's how we've traveled. And I know a lot of people are very independent travelers, right? They're not necessarily looking to book services like a travel. And if you're looking to book travel services, there are a plethora of them. But some people just want to know, hey doc, where should I stay? I'm coming to SA. Where should I stay? What Airbnb should I rent, or what hotel should I stay in? What part of town should I stay? How do I get around? A brother recently sent me an email. He was like, do they have drivers available at the airport when I land? I was like, you have an Uber?
Hello.
Right? So some of this information people don't know. So they want to know where to stay. What are some good restaurants to go out to eat, right? What are some things that we should do? They're not necessarily looking to book an entire vacation package. They just want to know, where should I go? What are the high spots? Right, tips and tricks. And there's some things that are off the beaten path. We live here. We live in Johannesburg, and we've been to Cape Town, and we're going to Cape Town at the end of the month, right? So we know some things that are like off the beaten path, that are not just inside the city of Josie, but
and that wouldn't be in a package.
That wouldn't be in a package, right?
I think some of our most memorable experiences were just meeting everyday people and having an experience that you wouldn't have, in a typical package. So I mean, I could spit off so many, but I think that's the inspiration. And we also were Airbnb hosts when we lived back in New Orleans. And that was one of the things that made Airbnb so attractive to people. They didn't want to stay in the hotels. They wanted to get a more like authentic experience.
Right.
And so I think our services would appeal to that traveler.
That type of traveler,
who's like, look, I'm thinking about this Airbnb, but we know how Airbnb is. You know, it can look great in the picture. Sometimes you show up and you're like,
right.
where am I?
Right. Exactly.
So, you know, I think that's the type of traveler.
Yeah, that's the type of more of an independent traveler who just want kind of a little guidance.
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. And then I always tell my wife, like, I remember when we first got married, it was like got married in 2009, and she had never been in New York, so I took her to New York, and I was like, you have to see the Statue of Liberty, and I don't think we ever made it that trip.
We drove past because it was so cold.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. And it's on the water? Nuh-uh.
But I say that to say that when you visit certain places, there are certain things that when you get back home, someone's going to ask you, did you see this? Right? Yes. When you go to New Orleans, wants to know, did you go to Bourbon Street? When you go to New York, they want to know, did you go to Manhattan? Did you see the Statue of Liberty? So there are certain things that we'll recommend in Johannesburg or in Cape Town that you just have to see, right? You have to places because when you get back, someone's going to ask. But then there's other places that you definitely want to check out.
Now I dig that. So I'm gonna ask you, what's one spot in Johannesburg that you think everyone should be at? And before you answer that, I'm gonna say that Crystal and I, we are those people that like to go and travel and just do things our way. Well, really, Crystal,
freestyle travel.
I'm just freestyle traveling. I like that. We like that freestyle traveling because whatever happens at the end of the day. And we came out great. And Gucci, as some would say, but we came out great when we went to SA. And the 2 hotels that we stayed in, the areas that we were in were perfect and ideal. And so I mean that came from a Google search, but to your point, even having someone there just puts you at another level. It puts you at another level of comfort, but then also in an advantage as well to know, okay, I'm in a good spot. But what's one spot in Johannesburg that you think everyone should see at least once?
Oh, if you come to Johannesburg, you definitely have to go to Soweto, especially if you're an African American, because there's a connection. You know, that's the home of Desmond Tutu and the home of Nelson. Well, not the home of Nelson Mandela, but Nelson Mandela's home is actually in Soweto. So that's something that you definitely want to visit. And I would say I'll give another one. The second one is the Apartheid Museum, especially if you are an African American. Here's what we did. Before we came to South Africa in 2019, we knew the history of apartheid. So we took our children to Alabama so they could see the Civil Rights Museum and the Rosa Parks Museum. And so that they can understand that what happened in the United States in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, really into the 70s, right? When, I mean, school to school, anyway, the segregation and Jim Crow that took place in the United States. Now they can make a comparison to apartheid here in South Africa. So we took them literally 1 month before we left. They were in Alabama, going through the Rosa Parks Museum, and then the next month they were here in South Africa at the Apartheid Museum. So it was a great education for them, and to make those connections of the experiences of Black people worldwide.
Yeah. Nah, I dig that. Okay. Check. I've been to those 2 things. So, I'm doing good. We did good on our first trip. We're gonna be back for sure before we move, but I did good. But even in housing, right? You said housing is something that you can help people talk through and walk through as well, not only from the experiences that you all have had, but even you all's door ownership and getting into the rental side of things. So how does that work? How does that function? What type of services do you do when somebody asks about either living or leasing, renting, or owning? How do you help them?
So we actually own, it'll be 15 doors now here in South Africa.
Nice, congratulations.
We just got another one, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
2 days ago. Shout out to that.
Nice.
So really the question comes is how do you purchase property? What is the property purchasing process?
Yes. P. The paid triple P. Hello, right? That's what I'm saying. That's the paid PPP. Americans know about that PPP.
Yeah. So they want to know how to purchase property, whether it's a property for them to live in themselves or investment property. We often get more investment property questions because there's a lot of brothers and sisters who will come in who are like, I like SA, but I'm not really looking to move right now. I just want to have a place on the continent. I want to have a place here that I'm going to go and visit, every summer, every couple of months or whatever have you. So how do you buy investment property? What places should I buy? What areas of town should I be looking at? What's the price point? Where are the realtors, right? And what if I want to buy an investment property, like a property that is being developed, buying it from a developer, because we've bought properties from developers. So financing, more importantly, stuff like home inspections, right? We have a trusted home inspector, right? And we also offer services in terms of if you find a property online that you really like and you want to reach out to the realtor, you want someone to go and see that property and put their eyes on it and say, yeah, it's in a good neighborhood, it's safe, the estate is good, there's a school around the corner, there's amenities nearby, we walked through the house, looked nice, carpet was a little dingy, it needs this, blah 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 blah. We'll do that, WhatsApp that call for you, give you the information in front of the realtor, as well as have a side conversation with you, like, hey, this is what you should look out for. Whatever.
And sometimes people want to buy fixer-uppers,
right?
Too.
Okay.
So we already had to, get some work done on one of our apartments, so we know people who locally.
Well, just work done. We got a total renovation.
Wow.
So we know someone that has done some really good work. Property management companies we can recommend based on our experience and work with them. Some people want a home that they can stay in, let's say every summer, and rent out, short-term rental or something between then.
Who's going to manage that short-term rental? I'm sorry.
Can you run a short-term rental
in that place?
Very careful. Right. Some areas are like, we don't do that.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So you have to know those things.
Wow.
And we know because we've been through it.
There it is. Right.
Yeah, we've been through it.
Yeah. And so I heard you say before that you did Airbnb in the States. Are you all doing Airbnbs there as well? Or is it all rental properties for others?
I'm so glad you asked. Because
we will be
launching a new Airbnb listing in the coming weeks, really.
Nice.
In the coming weeks, we'll be launching a new Airbnb listing. And then the new property that we just purchased in Rosebank, which is an investment property bought from a developer. They break ground in March. And it will be ready in 2024. And great investment, great investment. Understand that you get in on the ground floor in historic Rosebank where the prices shoot up every year, right? But anyway, that will also be an Airbnb property too.
Nice.
Yeah, we do have an Airbnb listing on its way.
Yeah. No, you went so fast. You didn't say where the Airbnb is located. So where is that? If people are like, I'm looking for a place to stay in blank, they know to find you.
Well, it will be in 4 ways.
Nice.
4 ways. Yeah.
Nice. No, I dig that.
Which is great and centrally located. It's 15 minutes to the Mall of Africa, maybe 20 minutes down to Rosebank, 20 minutes to Stanton, and a safe, secure estate. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. No, I dig all of that. Now, I saw on the YouTube side of your life that you all were looking at properties, and even there was a property y'all went to that had people even still living in it while you all were walking through. It was one that had the bullet hole looking scenarios and situations.
The bullet holes. The one bullet hole. Look like bullet holes.
Oh, I say, look, those are your words. You know what I'm saying? Like the AK-47.
Yeah, I said, look like AK-47 lit this thing up, man.
And I agree. But so I say that to say, you all have even shown us some of the times in which you all have walked through properties to find different properties. But in your consultation services, are you all open to doing that for somebody else? Or is it more like, hey, I know some people, I'm going to connect you with them people, bam, bam, for the 1 hour situation?
Yeah, definitely. Part of the consultation is introducing you to our network, and not just the repository of information. It's about the network. So if you're interested in finding a real estate agent, we have trusted real estate agents that we have worked with. If you're interested in renting a property, we have trusted agencies that we have worked with, including those who manage our properties, who also have rental listings, right?
Nice,
And we can
nice.
tell you the areas of town that you want to be, depending on your situation. There was a sister who was working for the American school, right? And she needed to know what part of town she needed to stay in. And I think initially, essentially the American school took care of her. She was asking
Okay.
questions about what part of town. I'm like, hey, you want to be in this area because you don't have to travel so
Gotcha.
far. But
Yeah.
in terms of if you're looking to rent, we have agents that we can connect you with and tell you where you want to be, what that neighborhood looks like, safety concerns, if there are any safety concerns, walkability, convenience. And if you're looking to purchase, we have real estate agents who can link you up with a nice piece of dirt to buy, whether it's something you want to build on or something you want to actually turnkey and move right in.
But I think your question was whether we would also be going out to, like, would we offer the service of going to see this place?
Right, because there may be some. Yeah. Okay. Oh, nice, nice. Because all of that is a part of it. No, you good. All of that is a part of it. But then there may be somebody that is an investor and is like, hey, I'm hearing all about South Africa and I'm seeing different things. And I found this website. Let me reach out to One Way SA to get boots on the ground. And so just making sure that they would click such a consultation to be able to get that experience.
And I like those words, is boots on the ground. We both work for like international agencies or companies that have places throughout the world, and you always have to have those boots. You can conceptualize, you can Google search, you can do all of these things, but until you have those boots on the ground, you really don't have the true information.
I dig that. Now I want to talk about one more service where I said 3, but I saw this other one and I'm just curious as to how this came about. But it's an experience that people can book,
just like that.
And it's Elephants and Asad. How did Elephants and Asad come about? Like, tell us more. Like, we're here.
I really wanted to say elephants and lion, and the lion because my name means lion, but then I didn't want them to be like, oh, are we going to go see lions? And so this is an experience that that a lot of people may not know about. Again, stuff that's off the beaten path. That's not even in Johannesburg. That's 45, maybe 50 minutes away in a town called Hardy's, right? And we have been there 3 separate times. We went there ourselves, we took our children, and we took our friend Brandy to this place. Great experience. But this is something that you're not going, it's not the Mall of Africa. It's something, totally off the beaten path. You get to walk with elephants. You get to feed the elephants. You get to look. First of all, you're literally walking with them, and they're like, I have a great picture that I took on my Facebook page where I'm like taking a selfie, and the elephant is like right there.
Wow!
Right,
literally,
he's like right there, walking behind you. There's like 2 or 3 elephants just walking. Such a great experience. For those who are interested in that, we'll pick you up at your hotel or Airbnb. Ride you to Hardy's, and it's a beautiful scenic route. Just a beautiful ride to Hardy's. Take you to the elephant sanctuary, do the tour with you with the real tour. I'm not the tour guide. I'm not. I ain't the one trying to control them elephants.
Right.
Hello. You the middleman. You the middleman. I'll make sure you get there.
I don't manage the elephants.
No. Hello.
I grab some lunch and then we'll head back home. And it's a great experience. It is absolutely.
Right. And again, like an independent traveler might want like a single experience, like, I could do a little day or half day excursion. And come back.
I dig that. So now one thing I don't see that the independent traveler like yours truly has been interested in and most likely would be interested in is like dinner with Asad, like where and Adrian, like where is that package?
Like I gotta add that. I gotta figure out a name for it,
I'm just saying.
Dinner with Asad.
It's an experience. It's an experience. And because it is. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but besides the emails I get about property relocation and all that good stuff, it is so many emails of people, I just want to take you to dinner. And then, sometimes they're not even talking about property. They're not talking about relocating or visas or any of that. They just want to know our experience, or we were out with a couple last night they were laughing at a story that I told maybe 2 years ago on the
Hello, right.
I mean, the husband was just cracking up. He was like, when I heard you tell that story, I knew I had to meet you. Right.
Nice.
So you're absolutely right. I think I'll add that kind of experience, dinner with Asad, and then figure out how that actually works. If we're exchanging information that we believe that we gain through our experiences or whatever have you, I do believe that can professionalize and monetize that. But if you just want to hang out and have dinner, hey, that may just be you make sure you pay for yours, I pay for mine.
There it is. Hello. But even to the point of people coming every day to South Africa, and they may have a day that they're available and they're wondering if you're available. Well, I can go to the site and bam, bam, I know he's available, and hey, we gonna connect from there. So it may be a part of it. We'll see, but there is a contact us button and all of that. So that may be the way that initially people can get in contact with you and work from there and all that good stuff. But just looking at all of the services you all have, it's everything that I could even think of that is on Crystal and I's checklist, which I even have my checklist right there. But on my checklist,
brother, I saw that you did a checklist. I like that video. I like that video. Yeah. Because
it's needed.
You were hitting on things that people are not thinking about when they talk about, I want to relocate to SA. So man, shout out to you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, y'all lay the groundwork. Shout out to you all. Back to you, because different things I've seen, I'm like, okay, even to the banking and insurance, right? They'll consult you on that. But just knowing that's the thing, we were at the mall, it was like 4 banks. I'm like, wait a minute, like
how to open what bank will allow a non-resident to open an account, and then when you finally get your visa, how to go about opening your resident. But then there's also some stuff that you have to know, and I'll give this little tidbit of information. If you put more than 10,000 USD in your you open up a bank account in South Africa and you put more than 10,000 USD in that bank account, there's a certain tax form that you're going to have to fill out.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Wow. See, these are the things that people don't understand. It's not just like, I have this money in my savings account. If you have more than $10,000, because people were moving money to Swiss accounts, and people were moving money to what's that other place? Cayman Islands.
Cayman Islands. Yep.
See, I ain't got no whole lot of money, so I ain't got to worry about moving my money.
That's it. I see what they do on the TV. That's what they do on TV.
But for those who open these accounts and you have more than $10,000 in a South African bank account, there's a specific tax form that you're going to have to file. So there's other little tidbits of information that you may want to prepare yourself for. We talk about car purchasing, right? You can't walk into the dealership and like, hey, here's my $10,000 check, my $20,000 check for this car. They're gonna be like, we don't take it. So there's ways. Yeah, so you're gonna have to learn these things, and the car purchasing process is totally different. But those are things that those are the experiences that we have had that we're able to share with people to prepare them as they prepare to make their move.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, to that point, I'm gonna say we need to add that too, because it's not there. But even the thought that came to mind, because I know us personally, we love leasing. Like, we love the idea of having new vehicles and all those things. We don't really drive a lot. Our life is pretty tight knit. Like, we drive 1 mile to work, another 1.5 miles to the kids' school, or a 0.5 mile from work to the kids' school. So like, we are all tight. But even wanting to do that, knowing that that's an option and things like that, I think is what somebody else transitioning would want to know. So even let me ask this. So if, like myself, I'm looking to make the move, right? Making a move 2023. Would I go through and book everything at different times to get all of my questions answered? Or is there a way to like do a bundle, I'm about to move package, answer my questions?
Man, you know what? We're about to add about the move package. We just had that conversation.
Oh, wow.
To where we can give enough. But see, the thing about it is there's so much information. I can talk about the visa process for 2 hours because it's that much information on the different type of visas you can have, the information that you need to have, or whatever have you. So with that, I'm about to move bundle. It cannot be as thorough because we're going to be on the phone 6-7 hours. We're going to be on a Zoom call 6-7 hours, but we can get the hot spots, like the bam, 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 you know,
Boom.
you need this, this, and this. You want to check out this, this, and this, and this is, but we want to make sure that if you have that, if you book that call, if you book that consultation, that you have enough information that you won't run into a roadblock that if you would have booked, you know, the visa permit and we would have gone through each step, you know, you're not going to run into it there. But if we're trying to do this big bundle, you end up running into, oh, they didn't mention that in the thing, because we're trying to cover so much information. But I think there's a great way of doing like a like monthly event, like a one-time event where people pay and we kind of have this overview, this 2 or 3 hour overview of the moving process and hit some of the very highlights. And so that we get started.
Some questions.
Nah, man, I think that's something fun that we could even look to do. You know, we could talk through what that could even be like, because I mean, it's a party when we get together, but then even to be able to speak about the different nuances, right? Like having kids and being younger, like we all have different dynamics and perspectives we think from and through. And to your point of even having a way in which it's a multiple day event and just run it, I think that'd be cool. So we could definitely talk about that and make those things happen and have fun, because there are people that are interested in not only traveling, right, but even people that are interested in investing and even moving to South Africa. And I think that more is to come, right? Once we and others start to showcase more of South Africa's beauty and all that is actually there and what's really there, right? I even love you all's documentary that you did to show the realness of what's actually there, as opposed to what's been propagated or shown on movies and books and schools of what Africa's like. No, this is what's actually here. And I think when more others like the real South Africa, like you all, like Ashley and others, showcase the beauty of South Africa, others are going to come, others are want to visit, others are going to want to live there. So, you know, it's information that is had, and it's time to give it to the world. So I mean, I say all that, say I'm excited. I'm excited. I see how great the possibilities are and how great the information is. And so, no, I dig that. I dig that. Miss Adrian, I want to hear from you. So obviously you are a great co-host, right, to the show, right? You are a great asset to Dr. Asad. I'm just curious, from your perspectives, from your mouth, from your words, what are you most excited about One Way Essay and its involvement with others? Like, what's one thing that you're like, man, if I can pioneer this part on the site when coming in contact with others, what would it be?
I think I'm most excited about helping people with investing in property. Like we get so much of that, and you see there's so much hunger to have a spot. And actually, that's how we started. Like when we first came here, we were like, we want to get a spot where we can come and spend the summers, bring our children here. Maybe one day we'll retire, you know. And that quickly was like, no, we need to be here.
Right.
There's a lot of people who are like, we're not moving, but we want to have a place on this continent where we feel like we can also call that home.
Right.
They want to have a second home here.
Right.
And it's so doable. It's so obtainable, so achievable. And I think people often approach Africa with a lot of fear of the unknown.
Yes.
And they assume that it's going to be a challenge, because in reality, there are a lot of countries in Africa where it's a big challenge.
Big old challenge.
Big challenge to purchase and to rent out and to, you know, invest like that. We've been there. We've been in those countries. South Africa is a whole different ballgame.
We bought our properties from, we bought the first 2 properties from the United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how familiar the process was. And that's how similar the process is when you're talking about buying property, right? There are some nuances there, but in general, it's very similar and familiar.
So they don't have to have that fear. Like you can come here, you can own, it's affordable, and you can live your dream. If that's your dream, you can do it.
Right.
And that's what makes me excited.
And let's talk about that exchange rate for African Americans, for the Americans, or even for our family in the UK. You know, that dollar to rand exchange rate, that dollar, I mean that pound to, or the euro to rand. Yeah. It really puts you in a different position when you put it in the context of South Africa.
Right.
So yeah. So as Adrian was saying, that dream that you're looking, hey, I want this type of house, or I want to have several investment properties, or whatever have you. You absolutely can have that in South Africa. I'll let we'll run it with you.
Boom, boom, book it. Hello, one way essay. And I will say too, even going through the site, I love how simple and easy the booking process is. It's like 2-3 clicks of a button and you're there, from picking the day to the date, and go ahead and paying for it, and boom, you're ready and set up. So even making that part simple, I think brings comfort and ease to those that are taking part in the services themselves. And so I'm looking forward to people, tapping into all that One Way Essay has. And I know for me and my house, we definitely will start with that visa and permits, because if it does take 12 weeks, I want to make sure that we good to go in our end date. But if it take 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm good with that too.
No, it should not take that long anymore, because they moved it back. But you never know. You never know.
You never know. But I will definitely be one of the ones that could speak to the service of that and how that flowed and how that went and all that good stuff. So anything else you all would like to share or talk about as it pertains to One Way Essay before I drop my final thoughts?
Well, I wish I would have said this early on, but you asked why One Way Essay, and it is really rooted at the bottom of all of this. It's just our love for South Africa. It's like we're excited to have people to come to SA. We're trying to get all your family, friends and everybody. I want you to visit. I want you to come see it. We often say you've been lied to. This is not what they told
Facts.
you. Other than that, beyond that, it's just a great place with great people and so many things to do, and such a wonderful atmosphere here. So that at the root of One Way Essay is really just our love and wanting to show off, South Africa, show off the place that we came and fell in love with. As I mentioned, we traveled all over. We've been everywhere. And at one point, we thought about buying a place in Colombia. And we thought about buying a place in Colombia, but we're like, there's a language barrier. But when we came here, listen, it was the only place that I said I want to move.
Facts.
Right?
I raised my hand to that.
And I said, I want to move here. So that's what we're excited about. That's what One Way Essay is about. It's about helping others who get that sense of excitement that we had to actually fulfill those dreams and those desires and those feelings.
I love that. That's awesome. And even on the website, the first picture is Cape Town. I believe it's Cape Town with the mountains and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's Cape Town.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can't beat
it.
So
they may ask, why'd y'all put Cape Town and not Josie, and y'all live in Josie? I've said this over and over and over.
Talk to us.
Cape Town is the most aesthetically pleasing place on planet Earth.
Wow.
When you go up to Table Mountain and you look over and you see that, if you didn't believe in God before you got to that mountain, you definitely will be a believer when you get to the top of that mountain. You see just how majestic God was just showing off when he created Cape Town. So I wanted to take the most aesthetically pleasing picture of Cape Town and put it there of in the world and put it there so people could see the beauty of Africa, right? It is just a beautiful place. But shout out to Johannesburg because Josie is something else. Josie is the vibe. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, there it is. Hello, no cap, as I would say. But no, because I was even looking up because my mom had just sent me. My mom, she a part of all of this, and she had sent me a YouTuber, MJ Harris. He recently is now going to relocate to South Africa and living in Cape Town. And he told the people. Oh, you saw that one?
No, I saw it. Talk to him.
Talk to him on Instagram. Oh wow! Oh, that's cool. And he had told his nephews. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. I'm sorry.
No, go for it. No, excitement is real.
I saw the video
Yes.
I go to his Instagram. He has like 800,000 followers on Instagram,
Wow.
500,000 followers on YouTube. And I send him a message. I'm like, hey, I'm Dr. Asad. I have a small YouTube channel. I saw that you're moving to South Africa. I would love to interview you for my channel. He responds in 15 minutes. I know exactly who you are. I watch your channel all the time.
Wow.
And I would love to be on it. So I was just like, wow, you never know who is watching these little YouTube videos.
You never know. The simple, quick videos. You never know. You never know. But to your, like, it's just cool just to watch it all come about. And like I said before, I believe there's so many more that will make the transition, make the move, or even make, you know, South Africa a second home, where, to your point, Ms. Adrian, where they can visit, they're there for 3 months, 2 months out of the year, and maybe, you know, do other things with their property from there. So just even shining the light on all that South Africa is, I think is so fun. It's so good. It's so great. And just like MJ Harris, I'm one of them ones that was watching the videos, that still watch the videos, even knowing what South Africa's about and knowing that we gonna make the move. I still watch it because, I mean, it's like, what more is in store? What more is there that South Africa has to offer? So, you know, I'm here, I'm with it. And like I said, I had a little thought, right? Here's the thought. And so one of my things is definitely, I love being on camera. I love talking, all that good stuff. However, I'm just curious for the people. If the people love this interaction that we have going on, let us know in the comment section below. We can see what more can be done. You know what I'm saying? Like the Asad, Ricky, radio. Adrian, come on. I'm just saying. And we both have great wives that could do things too. So don't sleep on the families. You got units, you know? And so I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, truth be told, I am excited. And when we do make that trip, like I said, I do plan on coming down there around March, April timeframe. And so we'll definitely connect again and all that good stuff. But even before then, we'll definitely chop it up. But One Way Essay. Welcome to OneWayEssay.com. Definitely go and check it out. Of course, links will be down below for the website, for their YouTube, for their email, and all that good stuff. And I mean, if you want to do it right, you can do it One Way Essay. So great people.
Just like that.
Just like that.
If you want to do it right, it's only one way. No, One Way Essay.
Yes, sir. That'll work. That'll work.
Before we get off of this, let me just thank you so much for having us on, man, for taking the time to talk about our new venture and just being a genuinely good person and a good human being. Your energy has always been positive from the moment I got your first email and I saw the picture from your kids. Your energy from the email was positive, man. And I just really appreciate you, brother. And anything that we can do to assist you on your one way to SA, man.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Oh, yo, one way to SA. Yes. And I'm gonna say, if I could just ride this horse, first of all, thank you. However, with that, I'm gonna say it's a one-way SA because once you come, you're not gonna want to go back. You know what I'm saying? So it's one way. Because once you can one way,
the goal
not go more.
That's right. When we came here the last time, we bought a one-way ticket.
Ooh,
one-way ticket.
Yeah.
So that's really why it's one-way essay. It's one way because when you come you're here for a long-term stay, you don't have a return ticket.
I'm ready for that day. I'm ready for that day. But until then, we'll be talking. I'm gonna be on the website, but don't go. I'm gonna hold you after this video, after recording all that good stuff. But until next time, great people, make sure y'all find their website. Make sure you find their YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. I don't know where you've been, but subscribe there, go there, and all those good things, and you will be so glad you did. Make sure y'all go check out the videos I said, that mountaintop voyage. Check out the side. And even if you're interested in apartment shopping, I'm gonna put a link down below for that video as well. Until then, great people, have a great day. Peace.
Peace.
Boom, 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 boom.